G'day and welcome to this week's episode of Ask Leah. This week's question comes in from the comments section on my YouTube channel. Did you know that all of these videos are up on YouTube? They're all titled so you can search for answers to a whole raft, in fact about 250, tricky people problems, communication issues and self-management challenges. Tonight's question from the comments was around self-awareness. In particular, how do you develop self-awareness and get an understanding of how you're perceived by other people? I want to answer this in two parts. First, how do you develop your self-awareness? You need to work on your self-reflection, on your really honest self-reflection. You need to start analyzing how you show up and asking yourself questions like, what's it like to be around me, really? Not what do I want it to be like, but actually based on how I communicated in that meeting, for example. What do I think the experience was like for other people in the room? Did I get defensive? Did I interrupt too much? And start doing this self-reflection, not to cause anxiety or overthink things, but to get better at looking at things from other people's perspective. So what is it like to be around me? Am I modeling the behavior that I want to see in other people? And start building this into, if not every day, a regular occurrence. So I like to do it on the drive home after training or after a day at work. I ask myself what went well today, what could I improve, and do that little bit of analysis. The second part, how do you know how other people perceive you? You can ask. You can ask for feedback, and this takes real courage, but if you're serious about this, you want to know how you're perceived by other people, ask. Preferably pick people that you trust, respect and admire, people who aren't just going to blow smoke up your bum, but who are also not out there to knife you in the back. And think about what feedback you're after. Don't make it as broad as saying, how do you perceive me? Or what do you think of me? Too broad. What is it that you actually want to know? And give them the why so that they can see you are after genuine feedback. So it might be something along the lines of, I'm really working hard on my self-awareness. It's something that I'm trying to develop. I'm doing the self-reflection piece, but I want to ask you because I really trust your opinion and value it. If there was one thing that I could improve in the way I communicate or interact with people, what would it be? It might be if there was something that I do really well and one thing that I could improve, what would you suggest those two things are? And then listen to the feedback, get curious about it, but you're not allowed to argue with it. You might disagree with the feedback, but you are after their perception of you. Now, in bigger organizations, you can look at things like 360-degree feedback or anonymous feedback and things like that. They have a place, but if possible, if you've got a couple of those people that you really trust and you frame it up well about why you're seeking this, you're after their gift of insight, you're asking because you genuinely want to improve, and you value their opinion, hopefully they will share some of that perception with you. And with that awareness, you can then make decisions about either working on some of these areas yourself or seeking help to do that. If you have a communication, leadership, self-management, tricky people stuff question you would like answered, send it through and I will do my best to answer it for you next week. Cheers.